Welcome to the world of science fiction Neon's Alien. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a new story from Neon's Alien universe. The wind screamed through the sky. It was cold, colder than Eli had ever felt in his life. The snowstorm on planet Threxus 9 was worse than anything he had read about in school. The snow didn't just fall, it cut like sharp knives against his skin. Eli was 7 years old, and he was completely alone. His hands were turning red, then purple. Then he couldn't feel them at all. His legs hurt. His lips were cracked. He tried to speak, but his voice came out as a weak whisper. "Mom, only," the wind answered. He tried again, louder. "Dad?" But there was no one. No ship, no rescue, no footsteps behind him. Only white, only silence. Just hours earlier, Eli had been inside a warm passenger transport with his parents. They were moving to a new base on Threxus 9, where his father had been assigned as a communications officer. The trip was supposed to be safe, quick, just another routine landing. Then something went wrong. A sudden shock, flashing lights, screams. The ship hit the ground hard and broke apart in the snow. Eli had been thrown from his seat and rolled down a hill. When he woke up, everything was gone. No parents, no wreckage, just snow. Eli had walked for what felt like hours. His little boots were soaked. His coat was thin. The storm got worse. He fell to his knees once, then stood again. "I can't sleep," he told himself. "If I sleep, I won't wake up." He kept walking. The snow blew sideways now, making it hard to see. Then he saw something in the distance, a dark shape, moving slowly, big, too big to be a person. Eli stopped. Was it a machine? A rescue bot? He took one step back. The shape moved forward. Then it glowed, just a little. Soft, blue light. Eli fell to the ground, too weak to run. The figure came closer, closer, and then stood over him. It wasn't human. The creature was tall, at least 7 feet. Its skin was pale and smooth like ice. Its eyes were wide, glowing soft blue. It had no mouth, but Eli could feel something. Warmth, kindness. It looked down at him and tilted its head. Eli blinked up, shaking. Please don't. Eat me." The alien crouched beside him and placed something over his shoulders. A silver sheet that felt hot, like sun on a summer day. Eli's teeth stopped chattering. The alien picked him up gently, one arm under his back, the other behind his legs. It stood and turned without a word, walking into the storm. Eli's head rested against its chest. He could hear a soft humming sound, like music. They walked for a long time. The wind screamed louder, but the alien didn't slow down. Eli opened his eyes once and saw strange symbols glowing along the alien's arm. Shapes and lights he couldn't read, but they made him feel safe. Soon the snow began to fade. The wind grew softer. They passed through a stone arch, half buried under ice. Inside was a cave. It wasn't dark. Crystals grew from the walls, blue, green, and gold. They lit up gently as the alien entered. The warmth grew stronger. The alien set Eli down on a smooth stone bench and placed a small box near him. Warm air flowed out. Eli stretched his hands in front of it. "This is nice." The alien sat nearby, silent. Eli looked at him and smiled weakly. "You saved me." The alien looked at him and blinked slowly. Its chest glowed in reply. Eli tilted his head. "Can you talk?" No answer. "Are you alone too?" Still no answer. Eli pulled his knees to his chest. "I miss my mom." The alien didn't speak, but moved closer. It reached into a pouch and pulled out a small glowing stone. Eli took it. It hummed in his hand. Suddenly he felt something. A memory that wasn't his. Snow. A child. An alien child. Laughing. Another crash. A mother screaming. And then silence. Eli gasped and dropped the stone. That was you. The alien didn't move, but its eyes dimmed for a moment. Eli reached out and touched its arm. I guess we're both alone now. Outside the cave, the storm began to die down. But in the far sky, high above the clouds, something blinked. A red light. A scanner. A tracker. Something had noticed the alien's energy, and it was moving toward the planet. Fast. The cave was warm. Not just warm like fire, but warm like a memory. Soft lights glowed from the walls. Crystal vines pulsed slowly with blue and green light like they were breathing. The stone under Eli's feet wasn't cold. It felt smooth, like it had been walked on many times. Eli sat by the small heater box the alien had placed beside him. His fingers no longer hurt. His face wasn't frozen anymore. The silver blanket around his shoulders kept the heat close. Across from him, the alien sat on a low platform, still silent, still calm, just watching. "Do you live here?" Eli finally asked. The alien tilted its head. Eli stood up and walked slowly around the room. He saw carvings in the stone, symbols, shapes, and strange figures. Some looked like stars, some looked like maps, others looked like people or aliens. In one drawing, a tall alien stood beside a smaller one, a child. Their hands were touching. Eli blinked. "That's just like us." The alien stood up and walked to a wall panel. It pressed one long finger to a glowing point. The wall slid open with a low hum. A new room. This room was different. Larger. Empty. But full of feeling. Eli stepped inside. The walls here were smooth and silver, not stone. The light was softer, more golden. In the center stood a crystal pillar, floating slightly above the ground. The alien moved to it and placed both hands on the crystal. The lights dimmed. Then images appeared in the air. Not videos. Not drawings. Memories. Eli watched. An alien city. Tall towers. Soft music. Children laughing. Then fire. Flames in the sky. Ships falling. People running. And then the same alien who had saved him. Younger. Holding a smaller creature. Running through. Smoke. Eli's heart hurt. "You lost someone." The alien didn't speak, but its glow dimmed. Eli stepped forward. "It's okay. I did too." He touched the crystal. The memory changed. Now Eli saw his own crash. The storm, the wreckage, his parents' voices screaming. Eli pulled his hand back, eyes wide. "You saw that too?" The alien looked at him and for the first time nodded. They sat on the floor in silence for a long time. Just sitting. Together. Eli finally whispered, "Do you have a name?" The alien looked at the glowing crystal, then tapped 3 points on the floor. The points lit up. Eli tried to say the sound that came from the lights. "The Ren?" The alien tapped once more. Eli smiled. "Thren, that's your name?" The alien blinked once, slow and soft. A yes. Later, Eli explored more of the cave. He found old storage pods with dried food and soft cloth. One pod had a small toy inside, round, colorful, and covered in stars. It still worked. When Eli touched it, it spun and played a soft tune. Thren watched him, then sat beside him. Eli handed the toy over. Thren touched it, and the tune changed. Now it was a lullaby, a sad one, but beautiful. Eli whispered, "You had a kid, didn't you?" Thren's light flickered. Eli didn't ask again. He just sat beside him. That night, Eli fell asleep curled in a warm corner of the cave. Thren sat beside him, watching, guarding. But above the cave, far beyond the trees and the mountain storm, a new ship entered the planet's orbit. Black, cold, not here to save, not here to ask, just here to find what should have been extinct. The morning light outside the cave was pale and silent. Eli woke slowly, still wrapped in the warm silver blanket. He rubbed his eyes and looked around. The crystals in the walls glowed softly. The air smelled clean, like morning after rain. Thren stood near the cave entrance, unmoving, watching the sky. Eli sat up. What is it? Thren didn't answer. He pointed upward. Eli squinted. In the sky, far above the snowy hills, a dot blinked red. Then 2. Then 5. Ships. The sound came a few minutes later, a low hum growing louder. The snow shook slightly. Eli ran to the entrance and looked out. Ships hovered in the distance, dark gray, shaped like spears, marked with human military symbols. He smiled. They're here, my mom and dad. They're looking for me. Thren didn't move. His glow dimmed. And then, he stepped backward. Why are you hiding? Eli asked. Thren touched his chest once, then pointed to the sky. Eli frowned. You think they'll hurt you? Thren didn't answer. But he didn't step forward either. Minutes later, the ground thundered. Dropships landed at the edge of the forest. Men in black armor stepped out holding rifles. They scanned the area with red lights. A woman in a white coat stood behind them holding a tablet. A soldier shouted, "Thermal signal found. Life form detected inside the mountain." Eli stepped out into the snow. "Wait, I'm here." Soldiers raised their weapons, then paused when they saw him. The woman rushed forward. "Eli Keene?" she asked, eyes wide. "Yes, that's me." She turned and spoke into her headset. "We found the boy, alive." Eli smiled. "I was saved. Someone helped me." He turned to the cave and waved. "Come out," he said gently. "They're here now." But Thren didn't move. The soldiers raised their weapons again. From inside the cave, Thren slowly stepped into the light. His tall frame, glowing skin, and blank face stopped the soldiers in their tracks. The woman's smile dropped. "What is that?" "He's my friend," Eli shouted. "He saved me from the storm. He gave me food. He kept me warm. Get behind me now," the lead soldier yelled. He aimed his weapon at Thren. "No." Eli stepped in front of him. "Don't shoot." The woman frowned. "It's an alien. We thought they were extinct." Thren raised his hands slowly, open, empty, peaceful. "He's not dangerous," Eli cried. "He's kind. He didn't hurt me." But the soldiers didn't listen. The lead one moved forward, finger on the trigger. "I said back away, kid." Eli shook his head, standing between them. "You weren't there," he said, voice shaking. "You didn't see him carry me through the storm. You didn't hear me crying. He's the reason I'm still alive." The soldier ignored him. Then, everything went quiet. Thren's chest began to glow. Not bright, not sharp, just a warm, golden light, like a memory. A soft pulse spread through the air. The snow stopped falling. The soldiers froze, and Eli felt it again, like in the cave, a memory that wasn't his. Laughter, a child's smile, a family lost in flames, and a promise. Never again. Eli turned to the soldiers. He lost someone, like I did. The woman in white lowered her tablet. Her eyes softened. "Hold fire," she said. The lead soldier hesitated. "But ma'am," I said, "hold fire." Thren lowered his hand slowly. Eli reached out and held one. The boy and the alien stood together side by side, not enemies, not threat and hostage, just survivors. The soldiers didn't move. Neither did the alien. Finally, the woman stepped forward and asked one question. "Why did you save him?" Thren looked down at Eli, then gently placed his hand over the boy's heart. No words, but the answer was clear, because no one else did. The snow fell again that night, soft and slow, like a blanket covering the truth. The soldiers had camped a safe distance from the cave, still unsure of what to do. They didn't attack, but they didn't get close either. The air between them and Thren was thick with silence. Eli sat by the cave's glowing wall, knees tucked to his chest. He looked at the crystal lights gently pulsing around him. He had never seen a place that felt so alive. Thren sat nearby, quiet as always. But his glow was different, dimmer, sadder. "Are you scared?" Eli asked. Thren didn't answer with words. He turned toward a side wall, one Eli hadn't noticed before. He pressed his hand to it. The stone shifted open. Behind it, a dark hallway. Eli followed carefully as Thren led him deeper inside. The air was warm but still, like time had stopped. The hallway ended in a round chamber, walls lined with floating crystal orbs. Hundreds of them. Eli reached toward one. Thren stopped him, then touched a single orb with both hands. It lit up, and the past returned. Images swirled in the air. Not videos. Memories. Eli saw Thren's people, tall, gentle beings with glowing skin and soft movements. They built cities of light. They grew gardens on ice. They painted the sky with sound. He saw children dancing on glass lakes, families laughing. Then the skies turned dark. Ships arrived, human ships. At first there was peace. But fear grew, talks failed, and one day, a single shot was fired. Then war. Eli watched in silence as the memories showed fire spreading across Thren's cities. Glass towers breaking, snow turning black, crystals dimming. He saw Thren, younger, running with a child in his arms. His child. Sudden blast. Thren's body falling and the child gone. Eli covered his mouth, his eyes filled with tears. "You lost your kid," he whispered. Thren looked away. More memories followed. A few survivors fled. They hid in caves, scattered across cold worlds, waiting, but no one ever came. Thren was the last. Eli dropped to his knees. "I didn't know," he said. "They never told us. We thought you were the threat." Thren knelt beside him, gently placed a hand on Eli's back. A soft warmth passed through the boy's body. Not a memory, just comfort. "You saved me," Eli said, "and we tried to erase you." Thren blinked slowly, then looked at the crystals above. They were brighter now, almost hopeful. Back at the surface, the commander watched the cave entrance. Her tablet beeped, a new signal. Unauthorized memory. Field detected. Species Threxian, status extinct. Alert, misinformation recorded. She frowned. False reports, she whispered. The system had hidden the truth. Eli ran back out of the cave, heart pounding. "Wait," he shouted. "You have to see this." The soldiers raised their weapons. The commander stepped forward. Eli pointed behind him. "They were never a danger. We were, and we left them to die." She looked at Thren, who stood behind the boy, tall, silent, waiting. The commander slowly stepped past Eli and into the cave. She walked toward the memory chamber. She touched one. Orb, the air lit up, and for the first time in her life she saw what was lost. That night no one spoke loudly. No one aimed a gun. The camp stayed quiet, listening to the hum of the crystals from within the mountain. Eli sat beside Thren again. "Do you think there are others?" he asked. Thren looked at the stars, then gently nodded once. Snow fell softly as morning light touched the cave. Eli sat on the edge of the entrance, legs hanging over a small drop. He held the warm crystal blanket close, watching soldiers in the distance pack their gear. Engines hummed. Drones blinked, awake. The rescue was ready. A ship waited to take him home. Behind him, inside the cave, Thren sat quietly, eyes closed. His glow was steady now, not bright, not dim, just calm. The commander walked up the snowy path, stopping a few feet away from Eli. "We're leaving soon," she said. "You're coming with us." Eli looked at her unsure. "You've done well," she continued. "You're brave. You survived. And you helped us learn something important." She pulled out her tablet. "But this one..." She glanced toward. "The cave is still alien, still unauthorized. Command says he stays." Eli frowned. "What does that mean?" "It means we can't protect him. He's not registered. His kind has no legal rights anymore." Eli stood up. "So you'll leave him here? Alone?" The commander was silent. Then, "We have orders." Inside the cave, Eli told Thren everything. "They won't take you. They won't even help." Thren didn't react. He only tapped his chest once, then gently placed his hand on Eli's shoulder. Eli's chest tightened. "But I don't want to go without you." Thren looked at the memory orbs, then back at Eli. His palm began to glow. He touched Eli's chest, and in that moment, a light passed between them, a warm wave of energy flowing through Eli's body. Memories, not just seen, shared, laughter, sadness, loss, hope, and something more. A bond. Thren pulled his hand away. Eli gasped. What was that? Thren blinked. Then his voice echoed in Eli's mind. Not words, but meaning. Now, we are part of each other. Outside, the ship's engines roared louder. The commander tapped her wristcom. "Time's up." Two soldiers approached the cave entrance. Eli stood in the way. "I'm not leaving him." "You don't understand," the commander said. "This alien is illegal. If we take him, we break treaty. If we don't, he might be destroyed by something else later. This is bigger than you." Eli shook his head. "No, it's not bigger, it's simple." He pointed to Thren. "He saved me." He stepped forward. "And now I'll save him." The soldiers hesitated. Eli turned to Thren. "If I walk away, he'll be alone forever. That's not right. I'm not leaving." The commander watched the boy, this small human standing against armed guards, refusing to abandon a creature no one else would protect. She lowered her hand. "Cancel extraction," she said into her calm. "We're staying." The soldiers blinked. "Ma'am?" I said, "Stand down." Eli smiled and turned back to Thren. "You're not alone now," he said softly. "Not ever again." Thren blinked once. The cave lit up gently around them. That night, the soldiers set up camp closer to the cave, not as enemies but as guests, and for the first time in centuries, a Threxian shared firelight with humans, not in fear, but in peace. The storm was gone, but something greater had begun to rise. Inside the heart of the ancient cave, the crystals pulsed brighter than ever. It was no longer just a shelter, it was something else now, a beacon waiting to be reawakened. Eli stood in the middle of the memory chamber. Around him floated orbs of light, each one holding a piece of Thren's people, his memories, his history, his pain. And now, Eli's voice would be added to it. Thren stood beside the control crystal, his hand glowing faintly. He looked at Eli, then slowly nodded. Eli stepped forward and placed his palm on the crystal. A soft hum rose from the ground. The air shimmered. "Ready?" Thren asked, not with his mouth but in Eli's mind. Eli nodded. "Let them hear the truth." A soft light surrounded him. His voice, small but steady, echoed across the chamber, into the crystals, into the air. "My name is Eli. I'm 7. I was in a crash. I almost died in the snow. But someone saved me. His name is Thren. He's not human, but he's kind. He never hurt me. He protected me when no one else did. We were told they were dangerous, monsters, but it was a lie. He lost his family, just like I lost mine, but he still helped me. He didn't see a human child. He saw a life worth saving. If you're out there, if anyone like him still lives, please hear me. You're not forgotten. We know the truth now, and we remember." The crystals pulsed brighter. The cave shook gently, not in fear but in power. A deep vibration spread through the mountain, through the ice, and into the skies. The soldiers outside looked up as a beam of golden blue light burst from the top of the cave, firing straight into the clouds. "Is that a weapon?" one of them asked. The commander shook her head slowly. "No, that's a message." High above the planet, hidden in the black of space, small forgotten satellites blinked awake. Long-dead Threxian tech caught the signal, replayed the voice, rebroadcasted it again, across moons, across empty worlds, across the void. In far corners of the galaxy, old sensors lit up. In distant caves, alien eyes opened. In deep ruins, hands reached for the stars and soft, lost voices whispered, "We hear you." Back in the cave, Eli collapsed to his knees, tired but smiling. Thren helped him up, his glow soft and warm. "You did it," Eli whispered. "They know now." Thren placed a hand on Eli's shoulder. "You gave my people their voice back." That night, as fires burned gently outside, soldiers and scientists gathered near the cave. No one argued anymore. No one feared. Eli sat with Thren and watched the stars. One of them blinked, then another, then more. Not random, not natural. Responses. A new light had been born in the galaxy, not from war, not from machines, but from a boy, and a promise. The world had changed, not with fire, not with guns, but with a voice. One small boy, one ancient cave, one forgotten alien who refused to let a child die. Snow no longer fell with fear. It drifted gently through the sky like feathers, peaceful and slow, as if the planet itself was resting for the first time in centuries. Eli stood at the top of the hill outside the cave, wrapped in the silver blanket Thren had once placed over his shoulders. He looked up at the stars, now blinking in strange patterns. Not just stars anymore, signals, some from humans, some from far beyond. Behind him, soldiers packed up quietly. No orders shouted, no weapons drawn. Their mission had changed. They were not here to erase. They were here to listen. Thren stood beside Eli, no longer hiding in shadow. His glow was soft and steady, like a sun beneath skin. His kind had been hunted, forgotten, buried. But now, the galaxy was remembering. A diplomatic ship landed quietly on a frozen plateau nearby. It opened, not with shields or soldiers, but with a single woman holding a white flag and a recording device. She stepped onto the snow and spoke into her comm. "This is Earth Command. We have received the signal. We are ready to talk." Her voice trembled. "We are ready to apologize." Eli and Thren walked together down the snowy path, step by step. Child and alien. No fear, no orders, just understanding. The wind carried their footprints gently, but the mark they made was permanent. The story had already spread, across colonies, through space stations, onto worlds where aliens once lived in hiding. They called it the Snowlight Accord, an agreement not written in paper or law, but in truth a vow to protect what was once hunted, a reminder that peace can begin, even in a storm. Years later, Eli stood in a school made of crystal and metal. Children from many species sat together, some human, some not, learning, sharing, laughing. Beside him, Thren taught with his hands, using light and memory to show history the way it truly happened. Not just winners and losers, but truth. Every time it snowed, Eli would step outside and watch it fall. And every time, he remembered the night his world ended, and the moment a hand reached through the cold and saved him. In the silence of snow, a child was found. In the light of memory, a galaxy was changed, not by war but by a bond too strong to forget.